This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Valley View. This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now before we get into the map, this video is brought to you by David Gillespie. Thank you for being a farm baron. So let's read a little bit of the description. It says Valley View is a fictional map with a European feel. The map includes all buildings and farms can be sold. All buildings on the starting farm can be sold. There are a few extra crops added to this map. I like how it says a few. So let's read those off. Rye, millet, sorghum, mustard, rice, onion, carrot, cabbage, red cabbage, lettuce, coffee, grape, olives, and almonds. So that is quite an extensive list. In fact, you're going to see when we get to the crop screen, there's almost a third screen to cover all of these additional crops. For those that like to play on Farm Manager, the southeast part of the map is left undeveloped so that you can basically buy plots and build out your own farm, similar to No Man's Land. That's what the map author says. There's also 4 building plots scattered around the map. There are 2 ways of planting grapes. So the grape planter, or you can also use a regular planter, and that also extends to olives, almonds, and coffee. We're going to take a look at that here in a little bit. Now, there's plenty of other features related to the map. I'm not going to read all of them off. As you can see from the preview screen here, the map also includes season support and precision farming support. So this map does indeed have a custom soil map and a seasons mask. And there are 2 required mods. They are the Broad 9000L and the DRL 140N. Both of those are going to be required for the grapes, olives, almonds, and coffee. So with that, let's go ahead and jump on in. So we're going to go ahead and activate the mods that we typically use when we take a look at these videos, including the 2 required mods. And that should do us. Go ahead and watch the map load on in. And here we are. So this is our career start point, just kind of overlooking the town. The map overall is kind of set up on 3 levels. The northern part of the map is the highest most level. Then we have the town here, which is kind of at the mid tier. And then the whole southern part of the map is basically at the lowest level. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. We zoom on out, you can see that we are working with a full-size standard map here. And if we take a look at the lands area, you'll see we start out by owning the biogas plant, which is $79,000. We also own fields 4 for $93,000, field 5 for $107,000, field 6 for $70,900, field 8 for $59,000, that's field 7. Field 8 for $241,000, and then the main farm area here for almost $199,000. Now there's also some buildable areas. We've got one here for $25,000 just by field 16. We've got one just below us here at our starting point, kind of at the mid-level, for $35,000. And then we have a larger one down further lower on the map, $111,000. And then here we have the No Man's Land-esque setup. So we have various small plots that you can also purchase and develop however you should so wish. You do have the ability to buy all of the unbuyable land for $0 should you so wish. And then all of the other areas up here can also be purchased as far as forestry goes. The biggest field on the map is 111 acres or 41, almost 42 hectares. and it is $2.2 million. So if we take a look here at our additional crop types, you'll see we have carrots are added, as well as coffee, onion, millet, mustard, sorghum, tomato, rye, rice, lettuce, cabbage, and cabbage. So one is regular cabbage and one is red cabbage. Then we have grapes, olives, and almonds. Like I said, we nearly go on to a third page with respect to our crop types. Now, I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in that we don't see a field planted in coffee, nor do we see a field planted in olives or grapes or almonds. So a lot of these kind of more exotic crops, we don't see any fields pre-planted in. So we really don't get the experience of being able to harvest those early on in our gameplay. Personally, I would like to have seen on this map all of these kind of exotic crops, if you will, having a field at the start so that we can go and experience them, see them, and see what they look like at least, but also have the ability to harvest those at the beginning. Let's go ahead and take a look at our soil map. So we can see the soil map. We've got a lot of silty clay, loam, and sandy loam up here on the upper level of the map. The mid-level, we don't really have too many fields there. And then the entire lower level, again, we've got a nice mix of silty clay, loam, sandy loam, and loamy sand. We take a look here at our prices screen. You see we have 5 main sell points for the bulk of our crops. We also have 2 sell points for our potatoes, 1 sell point for our cotton and wool. We have multiple sell points for our eggs and milk. We do have a sell point for seed at farm supply. So if we have excess seed, we can sell that back. We also have the ability to sell silage at the barn and biogas plant because we do own the biogas plant at the start. The sawmill will take our wood chips, and then again, farm supply will take our fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, and then we're going to see later it's going to take our herbicide and lime also, so we can sell back excess product should we so wish. We have a sell point for our digestate also at farm supply. And then we move on into our additional crops, carrots. We have 4 main sell points for carrots and onions, 3 sell points for our coffee, 5 sell points for mustard and millet, and so forth. And then we also have the barn, which is going to accept our pellets, should we play with straw harvest. Take a look at our starting equipment. We start out with a pretty good list of starting equipment. All of it is owned. None of it is leased. We do not have any animals at the start, and we do have contracts available to us on this map. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Start out with the Fendt 716 Vario and the Fendt 930 Vario. So our tractors range in horsepower from 165 to 305. We have the RSM 161 harvester, and that is paired with the Draper Stream 900 grain header. Now you will notice that the grain headers are also set up for millet, mustard, sorghum, rye, and rice. We have our 2014 pickup. We've got the Bandit 750 trailer, as well as the SEK 802 trailer. We have the Lemken Titan 18 plow, as well as the Amazon Castros 602-2 cultivator, the Solitar 12 seeder. And note the seeder is set up to take millet, mustard, sorghum, rye, and rice as far as additional crops. All of the other crops you can plant with a planter. We're going to get into some other planting options here in a moment. With a Hardy Mega 2200 sprayer, Breedal K105 lime and fertilized spreader. We have the wing mowers for Pottinger and the front mower for Pottinger. We have the Kuhn GF 8712 tether. Then we have the wheel rake as well as the combo round baler wrapper from Kuhn. Then we have our front loader arms, bucket, weights, and then we move into the placeables. All of the animal areas are base game animal areas. Then we have a modded large grain silo that is set up to basically take every fill type available on the map, including all of our additional crops. We have several sheds, vehicle workshop, and then our farmhouse. Now, let's talk about these additional crops. So under trailers, we're going to have the required mod, the DRL 140N. It is configured to take grapes, coffee, almonds, and olives. We go to our beet technology. So we do have a modded Homer harvester for the beets that will also take our carrots, onions, potatoes, sugar beets, tomatoes, red cabbage, lettuce. And then we move on to our regular grain headers. We've already talked about that. Millet, mustard, sorghum, rice, and rye. If we move over then to seeders, as we've talked, millet, mustard, sorghum, rice, and rye for our seeders. If we go to our planters, you're going to see that our planters are set up to take sorghum, tomato, carrot, onion, cabbage, red cabbage, lettuce, grape, olive, almond, and coffee. Now we're not done. If we move over here to forestry equipment. Okay. Now we got a miscellaneous. This is where we need to be. All right, hold on. Planters. There we go. Okay, I was like, I know I saw this earlier. So under planters, we also have the Damcon PL75 that has been explicitly set up to plant coffee, grape, olive, and almonds. Now, what does that mean? That means over here under pallets, we also have the ability to buy grape pallet saplings, olive tree saplings, almond tree saplings, and coffee tree saplings. So, you can plant coffee tree saplings with the PL75 from the planter category, or you could plant coffee with a traditional planter. Kind of an interesting setup there, if you ask me. Take a look at our placeables. There are no custom animal placeables. Under miscellaneous, we do have just what we've included. Sorry. Under silos, we do have the modded large grain silo and a silo extension that are set up to take all of the additional fill types. And those are the only custom placeables on the map. The main farm is literally just a walk down this path. So let's just go ahead and take a look here at the main farm. And the first building we come to is the base game pig area. We really don't need to go into details on what goes here at the pig area because, well, we've all probably played this game at this point, so we really are fully aware of where each trigger is. Then we move on into our sheep area. One of our easy sheds with our 2 tractors. We have our maintenance workshop, our farmhouse with sleep trigger. We have our pickup truck, our chicken coop. We have our modded multi-silo. So we have our pipe out and our dump in station. Additional vehicles under these easy sheds. Here we have the horse paddock. And then our cow area. And that pretty much concludes the main farm. Now, I will say if you play this map on Farm Manager or start from scratch, everything you see here at the main farm is gone. So there's no equipment, no buildings in Farm Manager or start from scratch. The only thing you have here is the ground texture and the trees. So that is really good for folks that like to play in those modes and build out their own farm. So with that, let's go ahead and get to the sky and do a little bit of a fly around. We'll come back to the shop and then drive around the rest of the map. So we got a little bit of altitude here, and this really helps explain what I meant earlier about the map being on 3 levels. So we have the upper tier here on the north part of the map, which includes the main farm. And again, all of the buildings and everything you see here do not exist at the farm on the other play modes, other than the ground textures and the trees. We do have another little town up here on the northern part. Got a couple waterfalls scattered around the map. And then we have a small building zone up here in the northeast corner of the map. You're going to find that right there. And then the biogas plant is directly below. Now we'll go ahead and make our way down to the second tier of this map. So the second tier includes an additional kind of farm building area directly below. And this is right here by this pink tree. That is where we spawn in at the start. Then we have kind of another town here at the mid-level. Vehicle shop is directly in front of us there. We're just going to go ahead and avoid that for now. And then we move down in here to the lower level. And once again, at the lower level, we have another building zone, although this building zone is not that flat. So you're going to have some fun kind of flattening that out and maybe tiering it a little bit if you're going to build down here in this zone. And then this whole section of the southeast corner, again, has kind of been set up undeveloped, other than this road, to give you all the options that you might want to carve up and make your own fields or make your own farm over here. So kind of an interesting hybrid approach. We have a standard map over probably 3/4 of the map, and then a little bit over here is kind of set up as no man's land-esque. We have 2 of our biggest fields down here in the southern area where we kind of get into the flat. At this level, we can really see where the different elevation tiers are at. And then our shop, once again, is directly in front of us. That's where we're going to head to now, so we can then do the drive around. Down here at the shop, we have our customized sell, repair, and trade trigger right here. And then the shop icon is inside the shop building itself. And then as far as our vehicle spawn point, it is directly outside here. Not a lot of area to spawn in equipment, but I think you could probably spawn in a decent amount of equipment here to make a go of it. I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and make our way up here to the north and cover the northern section of the map, and then go down to the second tier and then the lowest tier. So over here to our left, we have the sawmill. Overall, the map is not that densely forested, so there is some trees that you do have the ability to clear out. The area down in the southeast is fairly lightly forested, so you're not going to recoup a whole lot of money off of those trees with respect to building out your farm. Here we have our wood chip sell point. Then our log sell point. Now we'll make our way across the northern edge of the map to our biogas plant. Directly to our right is the start farm over there. The northern section of the map is fairly flat. So I think this is, at least in one of my earlier explorations, one of these fields up here had a additional crop or had a new crop in it, but it looks like that is not the case this time around. But yeah, it would have been really nice to have seen a field of coffee. I don't know if there's been any other maps with coffee added. I don't recall any, but that really doesn't mean too terrible much. But it would have been really nice to see coffee added and almonds to the fields at the start, so we knew kind of what they looked like and then had an opportunity to harvest those on the outset. And here we have our biogas plant. This is really a lot like the biogas plant on Stancha La Pacha. So we've got our dump station there. We have our digestate out over here. And then we have our two silage bunkers. One right there and one right here. So we do have a fuel station up here to the north, directly beside this building zone. Then we'll go ahead and make our way over here. And I believe this is going to take us over to East Town Supply. I guess am I technically running along the back of the road? No, I was not. Okay. It's a little confusing to get over here. I'm not really sure what the proper path to get over here is or was, or it should be. So here we have East Town Supply. So maybe this is the no. I'm really curious now to try to figure out what the proper way into this area is supposed to be. I mean, this did not feel like a road back here. But okay, I guess it is. All right, so now we'll make our way down to the mid-tier. See across the whole southeast corner, the no man's land-esque area of the map. This road here will take you straight down kind of through the middle of that area. One of the few firewalls, one of the few waterfalls here on the map there to our right. A second building zone over here to our left. Another fuel station here at the mid-level town. So Valley Mart is a sell point over here. And then we will make our way hey, it's a little confusing to get around here. A lot of concrete and a little confusing on which ways you're supposed to be going. So I do know that you need to wind your way through town to get to the next sell point. I guess if I were to have a criticism here, I would say trying to make the directions you need to go a little bit more obvious. What's a road? What's not a road? I still don't really even know if I'm going the right way or not. All right, so here we have our dump station. And that dump station is the Center Town Supply. So now we know which way we should have went. Then over here we do have a water trigger here at the water tower. And then there is a road that does take us up to the shop from this intersection over here. So if we wanted to, we could have turned left at the shop and basically found our way down to this circle. Then we have another little town over here at the mid-level. It has several sell points in it. So here we have what typically is going to be our spinnery. We have a sell point back in through here. There's a dump station for that particular sell point. Here we have farm supply, and this is where we can sell our product if we have excess of product. So we can buy manure from here. Should we so wish. It looks like we can also buy slurry from here. And then if we have excess seed, fertilizer, lime, herbicide, etc., we can sell it back here. In fact, we've got a sign that says what they buy. So they buy and sell fertilizer, seed, lime, liquid fertilizer, herbicide, manure, and liquid manure. Looks like this is where you would buy those products. And then your liquid products. And then this dump station is where you would sell those products. Then we have our animal dealer right here. And then our bale sell point directly in front of us. And now we'll move on down to the lower tier of the map. And down here, we really only have one sell point that's way down here in the south center of the map. The rest of the southern part of the map is there's another building zone. Actually, we've got a building zone down here that we didn't notice when we were looking at the PDA earlier. So a building zone in the southwest corner of the map. The whole southeast is set up to build your own kind of area, carve out your own farms and your own land. There's an area kind of in the south center of the map that is not quite flat, but is also a building area. The rest of the southern part of the map is really just set up with fields. Here we have our last sell point. And then I want to go across here because we do have a little river crossing that I want to go into, then the southeast area. You can get a sense for the flatness of the southern part of the map. And then here, kind of the south middle of the map, starts to elevate up. Then we can see the buildings there on the mid tier, and then off behind that we then have the upper tier. So there we have the large placeable area, building area down here and in the middle of the map, but it is definitely not flat, so you'll have to have fun with your landscaping there to flatten out areas to place buildings and kind of tier it up. We have our river crossing. And then we're over here into the wilds of Valley View. With a road crossing right through the middle of it, and then it kind of stair steps up back to the upper part of the map. So guys, that is it. That is Valley View. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of this map? What do you think of this interesting tiering structure? The inclusion of a no man's land-esque area to build out, carve up your own fields, etc. down here in the southeast. Or you could do traditional farm sim farming at the pre-established farm up here at the northern area. Or you could buy one of those concrete areas and build out your own farm. So until next time, happy farming.